Hello, this is Clarence J. Kester. I got a story for you. I've been telling lots of stories lately. Lardo said I could tell this one, I don't know, maybe that's not the smartest idea on Lardo's side. Okay, but I got a unique way of saying stories, and, kind of helps Lardo get through some stories if he's got to talk about something tough. You know what I mean? This is a funny story. Hopefully you think it's funny. I think it's funny because you know what? Something as I review some of my orations and I get to laughing when I'm reviewing them, I'm thinking, oh, you might be on the right track because it's the same stuff that makes you laugh. Yep. Oh yeah, you're onto something. All right, so I'm just going to tell you a great story. This is an awesome story about plastic ball. Yep, that we play right down in Mitten Island. All the guys. Plastic ball. We're good. We were, we're great. I mean, right from the early plastic ball days all the way till way after Mitten Island High School. Kept on playing plastic ball because we're good. Lardo was pretty good, for a fat kid. Though, here's the cutest thing. All right. One of the guys in the neighborhood, let's just call him Guy Pie. Guy Pie had this gigantic, orange afro. Right across the street from Lardo. He had this gigantic orange afro. You know what? The cute little fat kid, Lardo, he thought it was really cool when Guy Pie wore his baseball cap, put his Mitten Island baseball cap on, and the hair would stick out from underneath the cap. But then the hat part was real tight to his head, so all that big hair sticking out. And it was so cool. Lardo thought, that's cool. You know what? So Lardo, he went on home. And he says, Ma Goose, I like the way Guy Pie's hair looks when he puts a baseball hat on. Ma Goose said, hey, I know this feller that might come over and put some curlers in your hair and give you one of them afros. And I'm like, really? I mean, Lardo was like that. And so, they got a couple laughs out of it. And indeed, Lardo did love the way he looked with the baseball cap on with an afro. And all them kids, a lot of them kids in the neighborhood had, long hair about that time. 70s. So anyway, years later, we're all great plastic ball. We're champions. Really, when you think of it. Yep, champions. Best plastic ball players around. Then, the fellers from the from the team are saying, hey, there's another feller. There's this feller in the inner city. He's gathering some kids up, and he's, putting together a team for plastic ball. We're geniuses. We're great plastic ball players in our little team. So we get to talking. Hey, maybe we should send one of our fellers over there and give him a little hand. Because we know a thing or two about plastic ball. And so we get to decide who we're going to send. Well, we hear from the grapevine, from, the neighborhood, everybody saying, this here guy that's, showing the youngins how to play plastic ball in the inner city because they don't really get a chance to. most of the time. But under the understanding that this here feller, he's got one gigantic afro, 70s, it's the 70s. And then all of a sudden, everybody got the bright idea, Lardo, the chubby kid, let's send him to represent our neighborhood, our team, to go help that feller, because, Lardo likes afros, and he knows a thing or two about plastic ball. So anyway, we sent Lardo, and they had a good time playing with the kids, showing them how to play plastic ball. Even, I'll tell you what, one of the things Lardo's proud about, really proud, one of the kids from the old neighborhood had him a baby girl. And guess what? Right there in my friend, the guy with the afro? Let's call him Chico. My friend Chico. Right there in Chico's little organization for kids, helping them, was his daughter. And guess what? They said, Lardo, you can go help his daughter, show her how to play plastic ball. All the while helping my new friend Chico, show kids how to play plastic ball. That was a wonderful thing. You know what? So felt pretty good about that. Lardo, and he come back to the neighborhood. He told us all about it. It was a good old time. Good time. That feller, Chico, years later, no little team called the Mitten Island Beavers professional plastic ball team. Well, guess what? They called Chico, my new friend. The guy with the cool afro. Well, he don't have an afro no more. I think he's kind of bald now. He don't have any hair. Just, kind of like me. No hair. Anyway, the Mitten Island Beavers call Chico on the phone and say, hey, we think what you're doing is pretty doggone good, showing these kids how to play basketball. Next thing you know, they're giving him a big trophy, and all these places, all other countries are calling him and saying, hey, come show us how to do this here stuff, and show these these kids, these youngins, how to play plastic ball. And next thing you know, there's a big to-do about it, and it's just my friend Chico, just a guy from, he's from another neighborhood, but he grew up with us, just like every other kid in my neighborhood. And then he said, Chico, he shows these kids. Here's a really good story. Later on, when Chico was getting his big trophy from the Mitten Island Beavers, Lardo and his pa were visiting. His pa was sick in a wheelchair and everything. And so Lardo's visiting his dad. This is great. Now, this is a great story. I think this is exactly the story that made Lardo know how important Chico, his friend, it's his buddy now. He got to figuring how important this guy was in his life when Lardo's sitting at the rest home with all the other people in the wheelchair. There was a bunch of people in wheelchairs. And, we're watching the Mitten Island news, on Channel 12. They're showing from the night before when Chico gets his award, all right? And then, oh boy, here's the good one. Lardo and his pa and everybody in the whole room were watching Chico get his award on the Mitten Island News, Channel 12, right there at noon. They were all in the big cafeteria. Everybody watching Chico get his award from the night before. I hear Lardo and his girlfriend They were at a little place, something about the Wild Wings, watching it the night before when he got it. And everybody's crying, yelling, screaming, saying, Mitten Island, because this is our friend Chico. He got big. Out of nowhere, he get big and gets a big trophy. Anyhow, I gotta get on with this story because it ends. Of course, I gotta end the story at some time, and I'm at 10:27, and Mother Goose tells me you better end it at 10. But I know if I'm Southern, I can go to 15. So I got a few minutes here yet. Tell you just a little bit more about my friend Chico. So Lardo and his dad in the wheelchair. Everybody, bunch of people in wheelchairs watching our friend Chico on the Channel 12 News get his award. And everybody's so proud that day, of our friend Chico. That guy from, a couple neighborhoods over back in the day, our buddy, that decided, hey, one day I'm going to, eventually stop putting out fires and taking kitties out of trees and retire from that. I got this whole beautiful organization going now. Lots of kids playing plastic ball. Just because I had an idea about it. Well, Chico had the idea. Lardo's just a friend of his from a couple neighborhoods over. It happens to like afros. The big 70s one. Like on room 222. And, Mod Squad. Those big ones. In the bell bottoms. Man. I'm just, what Lardo's right now thinking? He's thinking, I bet Chico, back in the day, with his afro and big bell bottoms, probably looked pretty daggum cool. Lardo probably needed to get the Husky set. Lardo would have needed to get the Husky set of bell bottoms, but Lardo at the time, Lardo had white blonde hair when he got his afro that year, but now he's a chuckling thinking of his little Lardo self in the Husky, the Husky jeans with the bell bottoms, just like his friend Chico. God dog it. Chico, you got me laughing now. I hope you like this story. My name is Clarence J. Kester, and I love you. Peace, love, togetherness. I love you. I got it figured out, Chico. I got it figured out.